We had no idea what we was stopping. We just seen the sign. I had no idea this was a working mill. We've seen another sign along the route. It is the historic Mingus Mill. So we're going to go a little bit off the main road here and check it out. We'll go check it out, because that's what we do. Hey, Nanny. Okay, it's not that far up here. Right on the water. Okay, this is pretty cool. Look how old this building is. Neat. Oh, look at this up here. This is really cool. Let's go inside. It's dark in here. It's warm though, feel that?
Oh my goodness.
That is nice.
In a state here.
What is a newspaper? I guess you can
See what it says.
whole wheat bread recipes. Cornmeal, flour, fruit preserves, apple butter, molasses, and old-fashioned moss soap.
What are you grounding up here? What are you grounding right now?
We're not right now, but what normally we're doing is grinding corn.
Corn?
Making cornmeal.
Oh, okay.
That is fascinating.
We've had some problem with the stone being off balance, and we took it apart so we can find out what the problem is.
Well, you'll get it fixed, I'm sure of that.
No, I won't. I don't know.
Oh, you'll have to get someone else to fix it.
That is
That way you
fascinating.
get to see what the stone looks like and how big it is. See, there's two stones. See, this is the top stone here, and there's a bottom stone, a stationary stone like this.
Oh, okay.
This one doesn't move. That's the one that does the grinding.
And you grind it and get it around.
And you adjust the height of this stone here with this wheel right here is to ever have fine texture if you want your cornmeal to be ground well. You don't ever want your two stones touching each other.
Oh,
That is neat.
so that grinds it.
Yeah. See, right now we've got it raised up and the stone is off. See, right there we've got plenty of things. Now let's just a little bit.
So they'll have to even it up.
I don't know if it's the shaft or if it's the, they think
What's this? What kind of stone is it?
This is a granite stone.
Granite?
Granite.
We have a lot of granite in this country, so that's no problem.
Right.
Local stone, but the one that they did with the wheat over there years and years ago when they ground wheat, it was imported from France.
Okay.
It was a man-made stone. They call it a burr stone. It had a very sharp cutting edge for the wheat, where you didn't need that sharper cutting edge for that corn.
Yeah, we had no idea what we was stopping. We just seen the sign. I had no idea this was
These
a working
are
mill.
the two original stones from when the mill was built.
And what year was that?
1886.
1886.
And it's still in use.
This one, yeah.
That is
Don't
amazing.
do the wheat side anymore. We only do the corn side. And that big instrument right there, that's what we moved, picked these stones up. We see the hole here in the stone up there. Okay, you see that? I don't know if you can see them right now, but it's got like some big hooks that spread apart, and you can hook those in there. A couple of strong guys gets on that thing and starts turning it, and it will slowly lift this big top stone up
Off of
this
that.
axle. And then you can just kind of move it over there out of the way while you work on whatever you need to.
Great.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to see what
Yeah,
it looks like.
because, you know, a lot of people don't ask questions, and we try to ask.
Right.
We want to know.
Yeah.
This is not how I pictured all of this was done. You think
Yeah,
everything's
yeah.
major machines. This is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is done the old-fashioned way.
I love it.
And we didn't have a water well, we operated off of a turbine about that size right there.
Okay.
What we did, we have a chimney-like structure that stands right there next to the building. It's
I see
called a
that.
penstock, and it works like a big reservoir. It collects 22 feet of water.
Okay.
At the base of it, we've got about a 15-inch diameter pipe that feeds the water coming into the turbine. The pressure from that 22 feet of water pushes the water through the pipe. Then he has this instrument right here that he can start it, stop it. What he's doing is controlling the amount of water he wants to come out of that pipe to hit that thing. The more water he gives it, the faster it will turn. Then you have a big belt that connects the shaft of the turbine to the shaft of the stone. So when that turbine turns and that belt, everything's working right, everything's in sync. So when that turbine starts turning, your stone's going to start turning off.
Wow.
That is impressive. The ingenuity
Down
is.
underneath.
We just now got here.
Let me take it down.
All right. It's a little bit wet today, isn't it?
Maybe a little smooth.
All right. Thank you.
Watch your head when you come under here.
Okay. Oh, I got some
Water in from the penstock.
Okay.
Then the turbine is enclosed in that little green shell there.
Okay.
The water escapes out the bottom of the shell and goes back into the creek. Then if you look at the shaft, you see the shaft coming up? All right, now if you look overhead, you see the big belt connecting this shaft to the shaft over here that operates the stone.
Here. That's amazing.
So when everything's in sync, when he starts the turbine, this belt starts moving and it's moving the shaft over here to the stone. So everything's in sync and your stone
It's
starts.
all water powered.
It's all water powered.
That's
That is
amazing.
amazing.
We have to maintain 22 feet of water in that penstock at all times in order to have enough pressure. If it drops below that 22 feet, then your stone will start slowing down.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's usually got his ear tuned up there like you do an automobile. If you hear a different sound,
You know, to shift gears or do
Yes,
something. That
so
is.
he knows when that stone is slowing down. So usually the first thing you check, see the platform right there where the okay, up there we have screens that catch debris and stuff that comes down the water flume. Sometimes, and those leaves will get kicked up against that screen and slow your water flow coming into your penstock. So that's making this pressure drop. So you're going to drop below that 22-foot level. So as soon as he goes up and cleans the screens off, and he gets proper water flow back in there, everything's hunky-dory again, you know. So
Awesome.
this is the side they did the wind on. Well, you can see it right over here.
Back in the day.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
That's what it would look like with the belt off, you know.
Okay.
You couldn't run both of them at the same time. What they would do would transfer the belt over to operate the weak side.
That sounds like an awful lot of work, don't it?
Yeah.
This is
That's amazing.
this is great.
But you take 11 horsepower turbine in 1886, that was a lot of horsepower. Because most of your little mills were operated with little water wheels, and they had to depend on the force of the water to turn that wheel. The more water you had, the faster your wheel would go.
Right.
And a lot of your little mills didn't have a really good source of water, and they may have to like have a pond out there where the water would run into the pond and you would operate off of the pond.
Right. I know. We've had, it's been beautiful today.
Okay, let's go, girl.
Let's go. The hostels. The girls, check it out. This is super cool up here. The Mingus meal. Look at this view they had to work with. The gentleman who was helping us downstairs, Mr. Boyd, was Boyd Wright?
Boyd Wright.
He was telling us that the upstairs they did the wheat so they could separate the dirt from the wheat and then distinguish the different grains. Or they could just separate the wheat meal as far as how fine it was, like separate it as cake flour or whatever. So that's what upstairs is for. The bolting chest. This is wild. I mean, it seems so outdated as far as what you would think is up here. But in truth, they actually still use all this equipment. He said they don't do the wheat at this point, but they still do the corn mill downstairs.
That's because the corn, they grow a lot of corn here. They have to import the wheat.
Right.
They don't have a lot of wheat grain here.
Look at all of this. This is neat. See outside. Got the creek running below them. All right.
And I know you got some of his talking.
Yeah, he definitely was very informative down there.
Oh, yes.
So we'll look over here and look at the platform he was talking about where the water runs off. Here, and then we'll go do the rain. What an absolute bonus today, checking out this old mill. Had no idea it was still a working mill. You guys make sure and check it out. I'll put the information in the description. Thanks, guys.